Welcome to Life with David. I'm David, and today there's a new kid in town. I just got a couple Raspberry Pi Pico 2s. The specs are pretty impressive. Eventually I'm hoping to learn Risc-V programming, but for today I'm going to concentrate on getting the Pico 2 running on my system. I'd also like to compare the relative performance between the 3 different cores of the Pico series. That shouldn't be too hard, should it? So, why don't you join me as we explore the new Raspberry Pi RP2350? The new RP2350 was announced last month. You know I had to get a hold of one so I could try it out and report back to you. But I don't have any connections at Raspberry Pi, so I had to pre-order the Pico 2 like almost everybody else. It took a little over a month to get 2 Pico 2s. They were part of the first 2,400 units that Spark Fund received from Raspberry Pi. They were packaged well in production-style trays. But enough gawking, let's get some headers on these and see what they'll do. Besides reading the sales blurb, I hadn't done any research on the Pico 2. Since it's also ARM-based by default, I figured I could just load in a UF2 file compiled for the Pico 1 and watch it work. I started by verifying the Plink UF2 worked on the Pico 1. Then I swapped to the Pico 2 and pressed the boot select button while inserting the USB cable. My Windows 10 computer recognized the Pico 2, but when I copied over the UF2 file, it just sat there like a bump on a log. I tried it a couple more times before I figured I had to read the data sheet. Turns out that the Pico 2 is way different than its earlier brother. The Cortex M33 cores in the RP2350 are significantly more powerful than the Cortex M0 Plus cores in the RP2040. The original M0 Plus cores have the ARM V6M architecture, while the M33 cores are based on the ARM's V8M architecture. The M33 cores add a bunch of features including hardware division, more 32-bit instructions, more interrupts, and security enhancements, making it more suitable for Internet of Things use. They are also faster and use both more power during high-performance operations and less power during sleep. One of the reasons that an original Pico UF2 file won't run on a Pico 2 is that the Pico 2 initial boot process is significantly different than that of the original Pico. I just glanced at the boot load process, but the Pico 2 is much more complicated. Unscientifically, the boot process for the RP2040 is described in 16 pages in the datasheet, while the RP2350 boot process takes 85 pages. This is because the RP2350 has different vector table structure, enhanced security, and 2 different core architectures to manage. What that means to me is that I'll have to stick to using the Raspberry Pi supplied SDK for the near future until or if I decide to delve into bare metal again. The tool chain is different from the original Pico, so I decided to use the Raspberry Pi recommended tool of Visual Studio Code so I can get right into demonstrating the Pico 2. I haven't used VS Code before, so I have a fairly steep learning curve ahead of me. The first thing to do is to load the tools into my Windows 10 machine. I followed the instructions provided in Getting Started with Raspberry Pi Pico series. I started with downloading and installing the programs as described in Chapter 2. Then I installed the Raspberry Pi Pico extension per Section 3.2. After that was installed, I had to download a new copy of the Pico Examples master folder. That's because the examples I had downloaded for the original Pico weren't working. At that point, I clicked on the Raspberry Pi Pico extension I had just installed. I created a new project from the Blink example using the Pico 2 board type as described in Chapter 4. I selected the default ARM M33 processors by not checking the Risc-V processor box. VS Code took several minutes to load in the SDK and install the toolchain. I'll fast forward through that. After the project was created, I clicked on Compile Project. After compilation, I attached the USB cable to the Pico 2 while holding down the boot select button. The PC acknowledged the Pico. I closed the window and clicked on Run Project. That uploaded the UF2 file to the Pico 2, and the LED started blinking. Success! Next, I tried to communicate with the Pico 2 using the UART. I had quite a few missteps while I learned the VS Code operation. Finally, I succeeded in getting the Hello World program to run and output to the VS Code terminal. I wasn't as successful in getting the PIO program to run under VS Code. Some of the paths might have gotten screwed up, and the more I fussed with it, the worse it got. Eventually, I couldn't even compile the simple Blink program anymore. I even reinstalled VS Code a couple times, but that alone didn't fix the problem. Eventually, I went for broke. I deleted all the traces of my previous Pico software, including VS Code, the Pico extension, MicroPython, CMake, the GNU compiler, and the current and previous versions of the Raspberry Pi C++ SDK. If this didn't work, I was done with Picos because I wouldn't be able to recreate all the previous projects I had done. Then I reinstalled VS Code and the Pico extension and created a new project from the Blink example. This time it worked without errors, so I tried the Hello PIO example. That also worked without a problem. There we go. Next, it's time to try the Risc-V processors. I created a new project from the example Blink, but this time I checked the Risc-V box. It took several minutes while the toolchain for the Hazzard 3 RISC processors were installed. I ran the program on the Pico 2 just like the previous time, and it worked perfectly. Then I tried the Hello PIO program, and that also worked. I verified that the RISC processor was being used by looking at the CMake text file and found that the RISC identifier for the toolchain. How do the processors compare? The ARM Cortex M33 cores have a hardware divide, while the ARM M0 Plus cores for the RP2040 and the Hazzard 3 RISC cores of the RP2350 do not. I put together a short program that calculates pi to 800 digits for 100 times and then prints out the answer at the end. I also added a timestamp at the beginning and at the end so the total time can be calculated. I know this isn't a real benchmark test, but I just thought it might be interesting. First, I started with the RP2040. I had problems running the program from the VS Code, so I went old school and fired up PuTTY and dragged the UF2 file over to the Pico like I used to do. After 8½ seconds, the program finished. Then I tried the ARM M33 core on the Pico 2. This time the program took 3½ seconds to complete, 170% improvement over the RP2040. How about the Hazzard 3 processor? I ran the same program on that core and it took almost 9 seconds, just a bit slower than the RP2040. I'm pretty pleased I was able to get all the cores to run. That opens up the door to much more powerful applications being run on the Pico. Thanks for joining me today. This time I got my feet wet with the Raspberry Pi Pico 2. The RP2350's increased power over the RP2040 comes at the price of more complexity. That power will be needed for more sophisticated applications, and the enhanced security is an absolute must for IoT. Even though I'm not sure if all the power of the Pico 2 is needed for my projects, I'm willing to learn more. I hope to dig into the RP2350 as much as I did for the RP2040, so stay tuned. If you like this video or you think someone else might, please give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. The more likes this video has, the more YouTube will recommend it to others. Also, please leave a comment or suggestion for things to do. I hope to do more of these videos, so please subscribe and click on the bell for notifications of new videos. Let's get together next time for another day in Life with David. See you soon!